when you will build a concept related to that philosophy, whatever is given, then you will be writing very good and deep essay. If you will write in a very shallow way, see, now we are matured in the essay. It's not your first essay now. You have already written 2 essays. You got the classes, you now know the clarity about the essay. Now gradually we will move to the more deeper about the essay, so that we write more advanced essays. Now that's why today what I am going to tell you is about the getting the concept. Whenever you get these keywords, here there is need, and the question is saying need transform into greed, and then what happens? This greed further transform to more greed, right? And when this more greed takes place, when more greed is there, it leads to what? Spoil of breed. Okay, focus carefully. Actually, this idea of figuring out the different concept and making the interrelationship between the different keywords, it is going to help you in 2 ways. One is the essay writing, definitely. Second, ethics question. You will be able to draw the flow diagrams that we will deal in our ethics class. People, you must have heard this, that we should make flow diagrams in the ethics. Have you heard this? We should make the flow diagrams. Now, for that, many times you will see that there are notes that the specific flow diagram for every topic. But that doesn't work. You need to draw the flow diagram as per the question demand. You can't just mug up one flow diagram and put anywhere. That would be the artificial addition of flow diagram. But you need to learn how to draw a flow diagram, and that is not difficult also. Once you are able to relate the different keywords, you yourself will be able to draw the flow diagram, and that you will see this in my case answers also. In every question, you will find one flow diagram. It's not because I had prepared those flow diagrams beforehand. It is because you are able to see the interrelationship between the keywords and between the different concepts which are involved in that particular question, and that you have to learn. Now here let's try to, when you are able to draw this flow diagram in your rough paper, now you start making the interrelationship between them. When this need will transform into greed. Need is important, right? Everyone needs certain bare minimum for their standard of life. Need is important, right? So for need is something which is a basic necessity, basic necessity. And this is important. This need can be the need can be the like simple thing. Sorry, I'm writing here. Food, clothes, health, education. These are the basic needs. Even the love, care, those are also needs. Every human being needs care. They also needs respect. It's not only the material needs, right? But for that love also, if a human being needs love, if that love reaches one limit that I need more, then it transforms into the greed, isn't it? And that if that greed is increasing and increasing, that also causes a lot of problems. Interpersonal relationship also, it destroys, right? So need may not be just the material need, but also psychological, emotional need also, spiritual need, those all need we have to cover. Basically what we are getting from here is that when this need reaches one threshold, when it reaches one threshold, it transforms into the greed, isn't it? Till we have the, which is fulfilling our basic requirements, it's need. But when it reaches that threshold level, it transforms into greed. When this greed keep on increasing, that is, there is endless, it reaches a endless want. We call it as endless want. There is no end now. You want more. and when there is no need, no end to that, basically it is creating more greed. It leads to the violence. It leads to impact others. Basically, now you are taking others' fear. Suppose this is the pie we are having. That is, this is the pie we are having, which we all have to distribute with each other to survive in this earth. Right? So what is happening here is that, okay, you take this much, another person will take this much, another person will take this much, like that we distribute it as per our capability and need. It's not like everyone have the same need. Some have less need, some have more need. Right? That is the concept behind the water sharing. Na? There is water dispute between the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Now, which state will take more water of Godavari? How you will decide? Based on the need. You will calculate that, okay, here population is more, here groundwater level is more, so they need more water. So, based on the different parameters, you decide which entity have more need. So, based on that, you decide. But what happens, when other person, A person thinks that in order to get more resource, I have to eliminate B, then only I can take his pie and fulfill my need. We are going towards what? Greed. And this creates conflict. We are not thinking that we can survive, we can settle, that is, we call as the contentment. That is the fulfillment, sense of fulfillment. We don't have. I want to expand my pie. How I will do that? By taking the B share or C share. I will expand it. By taking their resources. That's what, by grabbing the other's land, what China is doing. They are trying to grab the other's land, isn't it, to increase their land? And that creates a feeling of jealousy, isn't it? Here, when the greed keep on moving, it will bring the corruption, it will bring the jealousy. Other person becomes something, the other person in the society will get jealous. Because they will feel that my share has been taken by the other. That creates the conflict. Right? So, the thing is, these all things will come. As you practice more and more essay, in one flow diagram only, you will bring everything. You will bring the interrelationship between these concepts. And this kind of topic becomes more important for this kind of topic. Because here, there is no one statement. Two statements are there. What it is saying, need brings greed. If greed increases, it spoils breed. Earlier, what essays we have written, it was one sentence. There were relationship between two words only. But here, you have to address two parts. First, it is talking about need leads to greed. You can't miss this. You can't just say that because the greed spoils. There is no one relation here. You're getting what I'm trying to say? Here, see, here two relationship is there. One is that this relationship between this and second relationship is between this greed and how it leads to the increase in more greed and how it leads to the spoiling of breed. Two relationship is there. So whenever you will get the essay topics where the multiple keywords are there, and it is talking about the relationship between the different keywords, you need to have the visualization like this. Then only you will be able to address the essay in holistic manner. Otherwise, most of what you will do, you will stick to this part. How greed leads to the spoiling of breed. But you will miss this part, that is how needs transform into the greed. Have you done this? It is possible. You may not have made the mistake, but when the questions are complex, what happens in the essay is that we stick to one part of the essay. That's the major mistake we do when the questions are complex. When it is straightforward, like the not everyone who vendors lost. That was one topic. Not everyone who vendor is lost. There are two things. That is, those who vendor are not lost. Two. Relationship is there, na? Direct relationship is there. But here not there. Here multiple relationship is there. So now you have to divide your essay such that which addresses the both parts. It is not like that you will completely change your essay approach, but when you will write it, you will make sure that these things are also addressed in your essay, right? So that you have to give that, and that's why this relationship building between the different keywords becomes important. And I hope you must have done that. We'll see in the essay. I have not evaluated. I'll see some of this.